Ever wondered how that little gadget on your wrist knows when you're strutting down the street like a runway model or just swinging your arm like a windmill at your desk? I mean, it's counting your steps, but sometimes you're not even walking. You're typing furiously, waving at your coworker across the room like an overeager traffic cop, or maybe just jamming out to your favorite song, hips swaying like you're auditioning for the backup dancer role in a music video. And there it goes, adding steps like an overexcited child counting down to the new year. Today we're diving into the tech magic and occasional mischief behind step tracking in smartwatches and smartbands. So, what's the secret sauce here? Inside every smartwatch and smartband, there's a tiny sensor called an accelerometer. Think of it as a motion detector for your wrist. It tracks how your arm moves through three-dimensional space and translates these movements into data points. For example, when you power walk to the office kitchen to refill your coffee, your arm is swinging back and forth in a very specific pattern that the accelerometer can pick up on and count as steps, like a referee keeping score at a tennis match. But step tracking doesn't stop there. There's also the gyroscope, which can detect rotation. Together, the accelerometer and gyroscope help your device figure out patterns in your movements. Whether you're speed walking to catch the bus, jogging to make it to your workout class on time, or even climbing the stairs to the office two at a time, skipping every other step like an Olympic hurdler. Imagine you're dashing up those stairs, your arm pumping back and forth. The gyroscope can detect those subtle differences in movement compared to just strolling along on flat ground. Okay, so how does your smartwatch know a step from, say, you frantically waving your hand in the air to flag down the waiter for another refill at your company happy hour? Well, it doesn't just count every single movement. Instead, it analyzes the pattern of your movement. Walking creates a pretty specific rhythm, a back-and-forth swing of the arm that our devices have been trained to recognize through complex algorithms, like a dance instructor drilling their students on the perfect foxtrot. If you were to enthusiastically wave your hand in your coworker's face while recounting your weekend adventures, that repetitive motion wouldn't match the typical walking pattern, so your watch wouldn't confuse it for steps. In other words, your watch doesn't literally see you walk. It interprets your arm's movement as a unique signal that resembles the motion of walking. When it spots this pattern, boom, it adds a step to the count. Imagine you're power walking through the office on your way to an important meeting, your arm swinging naturally like a pendulum. Your watch is constantly analyzing that motion, looking for the telltale signs of a step, like a lifeguard scanning the water for swimmers who need rescuing. But here's where things get a little tricky, because let's be real, sometimes your watch gets it wrong. Ever noticed it counts steps when you're on a bumpy bus ride, your arm flailing around like a rag doll in a hurricane? Or when you're at a concert, clapping along to your favorite song with the enthusiasm of a kindergarten teacher during the hokey pokey. This happens because the algorithm can mistake certain repeated arm movements for walking. To your watch, those motions might look enough like walking that it decides, yep, that's a step. Imagine you're sitting at your desk, typing away furiously on your keyboard, your arm darting back and forth like a professional tennis player rallying a killer forehand. Your watch could mistakenly interpret that as steps, like an overly eager sports referee calling a foul on every little twitch and jerk of the arm. Now, the tech inside smartwatches is getting better at avoiding these false positives. Newer devices often include more advanced algorithms that learn your individual movement patterns over time, like a personal trainer who gets to know your unique workout style. Plus, some watches add additional sensors, like barometers, to get a more complete picture. So, the more you use your device, the smarter it gets at distinguishing real steps from random arm movements. It's like having a personal trainer who can better identify when you're truly exercising versus just fidgeting at your desk like a kid who's had one too many juice boxes.
Hey, want to make sure your step count is as accurate as possible?
Here's a quick tip. Wear your watch snugly on your wrist. Not too tight, not too loose, kind of like Goldilocks' perfect porridge. Most smartwatches work best when worn about a finger's width above your wrist bone. And if you're right-handed, wear it on your left wrist, or vice versa. This helps catch your natural arm swing better. Now you might be wondering, what if I walk super slowly, like when I'm window shopping? Or if I use a walking aid? Don't worry, modern smartwatches are pretty clever at adapting to different walking styles. Whether you're speed walking like you're late for a meeting or taking a leisurely stroll in the park, your device should still catch those steps. It's like having a friend who can keep up with you no matter your pace. Did you know your smartphone can count steps too? It actually uses a completely different approach from your smartwatch, but that's an exciting topic for another video. For now, let's focus on that amazing piece of tech on your wrist. And hey, while we've been focusing on steps today, these amazing little wrist companions can do so much more. Your smartwatch is like a tiny health detective. It can monitor your heart rate while you're crushing that presentation at work or chilling on your couch, track your sleep patterns to see if you're getting enough of those precious Z's, and even tell you how well you're breathing during your meditation sessions. Some models can even detect if you've taken a tumble or check your blood oxygen levels. It's like having a mini health lab right on your wrist, keeping an eye on you 24/7. So, next time you glance at your smartwatch and see that step count climbing, remember there's a whole lot of tech working behind the scenes: accelerometers, gyroscopes, algorithms, all teaming up to track your every real step. And while it's not perfect, it's still pretty mind-blowing that this tiny device on your wrist can tell if you're sitting or striding. Whether you're walking, running, or just waving to a friend, your smartwatch is there, trying to keep up with you every step of the way, even if it sometimes gets a little overexcited. If you like this dive into the science of step tracking, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll keep bringing you more fascinating science behind everyday things. Keep stepping forward, and I'll catch you in the next one.